Salamat. I'm really glad that you came to see me today.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be back too.
And how are you doing today? How are you, adjusting at the shelter, things like that?
I'm doing okay. The past few weeks was rough though. I feel a little out of place. I'm a little uncomfortable. Not having, my home and my clothes. So I'm a little out of place, but I'm doing okay for the most part.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is, you're having a little bit of a hard time adjusting to being in a new place, maybe not having some of your personal space, not having some of the personal items that you're usually used to having, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And I can see why that would be difficult for you. The last time we spoke about some of the things that you wanted to work on, that we were going to work on together with you. Do you remember some of those things?
Yes, I remember.
Okay. So as you recall, some of those things that we mentioned, was making the decision of whether you wanted to stay or leave your husband, helping you, reconnect with your family, possibly finding a job. Does that sound about right?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, great. So I think, the most important thing that we can work on right now is deciding what your future is going to look like. Whether you're going to stay here at the shelter or whether you will, go back home and try to work things out with your husband.
Yes, I agree. I think the most important right now is, I'm still confused, and I'm just so used to, something that I feel comfortable in, but I don't want to get abused again. So I'm confused right now as to whether I want to go back or if I just want to, go through, looking for a new job and a house and everything.
So would you be open to considering that maybe part of the reason that you're still so unsure is because you feel like staying home with your husband or going back to your husband would be a lot easier than having to possibly, find a place to live, find means to live by, getting a job, things like that?
I mean, possibly. I never thought of it like that. I guess I do think staying would be easier for me, because it is gonna be hard for me to get a job and find get back on my feet by myself. So I do find it easier to just stay.
Okay, and it's okay to feel overwhelmed in situations where you have to make pretty big life choices, and it's gonna affect your life one way or another. So how do you think you'll know when the issue of leaving your husband is resolved or not?
I mean, I guess I'll just know, it'll just be clear once it happens. I'll be more comfortable. I'll be able to reconnect with my family, and I'll be more happy. So that's when I'll know. It'll just happen.
So you'll have a clear understanding of what choice you want to make, and you'll pretty much be no longer confused. You'll be a little bit happier once you're able to make a decision. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so as you see it, one of our things to work on together, one goal for us to work on is helping you make the decision of either staying or leaving your husband. Does that sound about right?
Yes, exactly.
What do you think would help you be less confused about making a decision?
I don't know. Maybe if I had a way to weigh all the options, I would be less confused.
So once you've weighed all the options and you're no longer confused, you'll know that you're on the right track of achieving your goal and deciding which direction your life will be going in. Whether that's you want to stay with your husband or whether that's making the decision of leaving. I think that we can make this maybe even a little bit more specific for you. That way we'll know when you've achieved your goal. I think within the next week we can come up with a list of pros and cons, maybe some reasons to stay, maybe some reasons you should leave, your list of pros and cons of what you would, and start to think about what would like your life to look like in 3, 6, and even 9 months from now. Start getting those ideas going, and come up with some reasons that some things that you would like to look forward to. How does that sound?
That sounds good. That sounds great.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and write that down.
Okay.
Do you think that this is something you can work on maybe 3 times a week for, let's say, about 20 minutes, right? Or more, however you feel, before our next meeting?
Yes, I can do that.
Awesome. So what we've agreed today is that to reach your goal of making the decision of whether you want to stay with your husband or leave your husband, you are going to come up with a pros and cons list, right? Of reasons that you would want to stay, some reasons that maybe you would think about leaving. You'll keep track of these pros and cons by writing them down, making a list of them. And you'll work on them for about you'll work on them maybe like 3 times a week for about 20 minutes. And we'll talk about it and go over it for our next meeting next week, Thursday, right?
Yes, perfect.
Does that sound like what we've agreed on?
Yes.
Awesome. So let's plan to meet at our usual time next week at 4 o'clock. And then we'll see you then, okay?
Alrighty, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Part 2. Okay, you can edit that. Hi, Salamith. It's wonderful to see you again.
Thank you. Nice to see you too.
Thank you. So the last time we spoke, you planned on spending about 20 minutes, about 3 times for the week, to come up with this list and work on this pros and cons list. And this list is going to help you decide and make the decision of whether you wanted to stay with your husband or whether you wanted to leave your husband. So how did that go for you?
Honestly, not so well. Every time I sit down to write, I get stuck. I get really overwhelmed, and it's like I can't think of anything, good or bad. I just get like black out on everything. So I am having a little hard time completing it.
So let's talk about the list itself. When we spoke last week, you were really confident that this list was going to help you be a lot less confused, and it was really going to help you make the decision of whether you wanted to stay with your husband or whether you wanted to leave your husband. Do you still think that's true, or do you think that this list just isn't helpful for you anymore?
No, I think the list is very helpful. It's just I get overwhelmed, and it's hard to think, the reality of basically, my life changing and everything that's going to change after the fact that I've made that decision. So that's the only thing that I'm really afraid or overwhelmed of.
So what I'm hearing is that you're maybe a little bit nervous about making the list because it puts into perspective the reality of the choices, or the reality of the choice that you're making in itself.
Yes.
Do you think maybe it'll be helpful if we talked about some of the things that you could do when you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed as you start writing?
Sure.
Okay, great. So how about we rehearse it? I can pretend to be you, and I'll walk you through some of the things that you can do as you're writing to maybe feel a little less overwhelmed and maybe help you get focused so that you can write some things down.
Okay.
Okay, so when you're making this list, I want you to start by being in a quiet space when you're alone. So whether that's in your room after everyone has gone to bed, or just some time that you find alone that you feel ready to write, you should start there, okay? So let's say I'm going to be you, I'm going to pretend to be you, and let's say I found this quiet space, I'm alone, and I'm ready to sit down and write. And as I start writing, I start thinking and I start getting very overwhelmed with everything that I'm working on. I want you to take a step back, and I want you to take 3 deep breaths, okay? So you would go now you try. Okay, great. So now that we've gotten a technique for you to do when you're feeling overwhelmed, why don't you tell me some of the other things that are troubling you?
Okay, really is making a decision. You know, I don't know what I want to do. I beat myself up all the time because I don't know what I want to do. I can't make a decision. I don't know if I want to stay or if I want to leave. Both have pros and both have cons, and I just feel as if I'm lost and I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm confused with the whole situation.
Yeah. So what you may consider to be indecisiveness and the inability to make a choice, you know, you have to look at it on this side. I see it as your willingness and your openness to being able to do something new and being in a position where you would have to find a job and maybe do something that's outside of your comfort zone, having to find a house, and that's a lot of work for you. So I think that you not being able to make a choice is actually a good thing because you're able to see it from different perspectives and you're able to see yourself putting in the work to be somewhere that gets you to where you want to be in life. How do you think? Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Great. So let's review everything we've talked about today. So we talked about you coming in. When you came in, we talked about you, you know, how far you got with completing the list. You know, which we talked about. We also talked about you weren't able to do it because you started feeling overwhelmed. We reviewed together some techniques that you could do when you start feeling overwhelmed to help you process and help you relax, so that way you can focus on making this list and coming up with your pros and cons. Going forward, I really want you to start thinking about 3, 6, and 9 months from now where you see your life being. You don't have to do anything formal, just something to start thinking about right now, okay? That way we can help us better decide on what decision you're going to make, okay? So one more step closer to our goal. How does that sound? Great. Does that sound like we've covered everything for today?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'll see you at our regular scheduled time next week, Thursday at 4 o'clock?
Yes.
Awesome. We'll see you then, Salome. Thank you for coming to see me today.
Thank you.
Thanks.